and good morning to you. Welcome to high school basketball action on Central Illinois Sports, live from Blue Devil Gymnasium and the 2024 Quincy Shootout for the first of 9 games to come your way on Central Illinois Sports. It's Principia and West Central and the 9 o'clock scheduled tip with a little brunch at Blue Devil Gymnasium. Alongside Jack Hall, I'm Charlie Hull. Thanks to Tim and John for their production work today. This is the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. A fun-filled evening last night, a jam-packed day today from Blue Devil Gymnasium. We'll talk more about this matchup and the schedule for today's event on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show after this.
Are you looking to streamline your banking? Great Rivers Bank has just what you need with our streamlined checking and savings accounts. Earn high interest rates or get cash back on debit card purchases with your qualifying account. Plus, ATM fee refunds. Certain qualifications required. Call or visit our website today at www.greatriversbank.bank to get started. Great Rivers Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Logan Agri-Service, we consider it a badge of honor to be recognized as one of the larger independent suppliers of crop protection chemicals in the Midwest. We've worked hard for years to provide you with the access to the best herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides from top manufacturers because we know without you, our local farmers, we wouldn't be here. When you have questions, call our local experts to discuss what works best for your fields and your situation, or visit us online at loganag.com. Serving agriculture since 1962.
Grab the game while your kids are busy. You know, streaming, gaming, and homework. Now you can teach your kids the value of $1 by showing bundles with Cascom. Bundle telephone, internet, and TV. Bundle 2 for a double play or 3 for a triple play. Plus, save $20 a month for 3 months for a limited time. Then you can tell everyone how you help them with their math homework. Call Cascom about bundles today at 1-800-252-1799. Cascom at 1-800-252-1799.
Here at Little Jess, we value hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership. We have a respect for heritage and tradition and believe in the pursuit of building legacies, breaking records, and putting forth award-winning results. That's why supporting schools and local teams is one of our favorite and most exciting parts of our business. For over 7 decades, we strive daily to use those same values as a foundation to meet our community's automotive needs and support our future generations. Little Jess Motors, serving our community since 1969.
Best Systems Insulators offer insulation for homes and commercial buildings throughout Central Illinois and the surrounding areas. We take great care to ensure that the insulation products we use are the best fit for our clients and their project. We understand that different buildings have different needs and that each of our clients has a unique set of goals. Let us work with you to find the best solution for your next project. Call Best Systems Insulators at 217-285-6005. That's 285-6005. Or visit them online at GoBestSystems.com.
Welcome back on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show on Central Illinois Sports. Principia and West Central matching up in this morning's contest as the Cougars of West Central make their Quincy Shootout debut. They're 21-2 on the season, and the Panthers of Principia moved their record to 12-3 last night with a win over Quincy Notre Dame. And Jack, you got to see this Principia squad, and you said you were impressed with the Panthers.
It was a tale of 2 halves, actually. They looked like a varsity team in the first half. They looked like a JV team in the second half. That's because no seniors, lots of freshmen and sophomores, and they're going to make some of those young mistakes. But I had an opportunity to visit with Scott Stalcup, who is one of the assistant coaches who actually went to Principia College and went to Principia High School. He talked about the climate of Principia and how it's a safe place for these kids in the city. They're around the town and country area, but they really are so athletic, and they were so long last night playing defense and got out on Quincy Notre Dame and really kind of put them down. But to Q&D's credit, they came back in the second half, and Kevin Myers got them fired up and made a ball game out of it in a game that looked like it was going to be a running clock.
And, of course, we've seen a lot of West Central this year. This Cougar squad, fun to watch. They've won the Beardstown, the Waverly, and the Winchester tournaments, 21-2, but this is probably the tallest task they faced this season.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't have a lot of big post players in most of the teams we cover, and these guys are huge up and down. And Sisay down in the middle, a 6'7" freshman. We saw a lot of big freshmen last night, and I'm going, I don't know where that factory is, but we've got to find some of that because he was a player in and out. Okoro really played hard last night. Gassim Toure really showed a lot of athleticism. And Ron Henry was a guy who got in foul trouble, but a 6'6" athlete out there. What are you going to do with that if you're Chance Little and the guys from West Central?
Well, you're going to have to just play bigger than you really are, right? And that's one thing you always like about West Central and Ryan Seasting's squad. They don't ever back down from anyone. This is a group that likes to compete. Of course, a well-rounded team. Zach Evans leads the way on the scoring side. He became the all-time leading scorer in West Central history last night, eclipsing Gabe Cox, just over 1,800 points. And by the way, that's without much of a freshman year due to the COVID year. So he's put up some points in a hurry, well on his way to 2,000 if he can stay healthy and the Cougars can make a good run in the postseason. But this is a squad who will be willing to compete in this contest in a fun atmosphere for the Cougars to come here and play at Blue Devil Gymnasium. This is probably the first time that a lot of them have been to this facility.
It probably is, but one thing you know about the West Central folks, they got up early this morning, they drove over here, they're supporting their kids. And so we'll have a nice little crowd on hand. It won't look big in this 3,700 capacity gymnasium, but nothing really does most of the time. I mean, when you get to a lot of the gyms, even Q&D last night, the upper level was very bare at that point. But we think some of that's because people are watching on Central Illinois Sports and having a little cup of coffee and watching some basketball all day long, we hope.
Really appreciate the effort given by Eric Stratman to put this shootout together. And this early matchup on Saturday has traditionally been one or two local teams to participate to get some folks to the gym early on and get this thing started off. That's what we're seeing here. 10:30 Chicago Curie and Father Tolton matching up at noon. Chaminade and Millard North. High School of Louisville will play Simeon at 1:30. 3 o'clock Peoria Richwoods will take on Lee Summit West. At 4:30 the Burlington School and Link Academy. The 6 o'clock scheduled contest, Oak Cliff Faith Family and Vashon. 7:30 Quincy High and Imhotep Charter in what should be a jam-packed Blue Devil Gymnasium at that point in time. And then at 9 o'clock tonight, Huntington Express Prep will take on Wasatch Academy. So an action-packed day here at the 2024 Quincy Shootout, and we hope you'll join us for all of the contest. We'll step aside on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. More on this contest as Principia and West Central go head-to-head back after this.
Kate Marable, real estate broker with Hometown Real Estate, would like to say good luck to all area teams and hopes everyone has a successful and healthy season. When you're in the market for a new home or would like to sell your home, be sure to call Kate Marable. Kate is a lifelong resident of the area and has experience in first-time home buyers, FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Call Kate Marable at 217-370-9809. That's 370-9809 for Kate Marable and Hometown Real Estate. Every day, banks touch every corner of our lives. They support us when we turn life's goals into accomplishments. Goals like opening a small business, buying a home, planting a crop, having a baby. From your first car to life after retirement, Central State Bank is there for all of your life's milestones. CSB is central to your banking needs. Visit us in Clayton, Kinderhook, Pittsfield, Pleasant Hill, and Quincy, or at csb123.com. Central State Bank wishes all of the teams well on the hardwood this week.
Sports families, come check out Central Valley Sports, the new facility in town. Located 3 miles south of Winchester at 520 Winchester Glasgow Road. Batting cages, pitching mounds, pitching machines, and more. Open to all ages and skill levels. The facility is available for team rental, individual membership, and family memberships. Be sure to check out the Central Valley Sports Facebook page for more information and stay up to date on individual lessons and camps offered throughout the year.
The thing for me that really separates DOT, senior leadership and the owners of the business really focus on employee engagement.
We have some of the best people managers.
The Tracy family, senior leaders throughout the business, really all of our leaders care about the employees that work here.
And that allows for a lot of families to come work at Dot Foods, and I think that's part of it, is being able to have all those different schedules and the flexibility to be able to move things around when life happens.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agents at B&P Insurance Agency, Barber Agency. See Pat Vandevelde, Caleb Vandevelde, or Mary Coltis. You'll find our location at 114 South Madison Street in Pittsfield.
Before the TAVR, I was very active, worked out at the Croc Center. I would say less than a week. Well, of course, Amy tells me I couldn't do squats. She even wrote it in my discharge paper. Great big, Sandy, no squats. So I did a couple.
Oh my word.
Don't tell her.
I knew she was going to, but I have the best job in the world to get to work with these patients.
Welcome back on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. Blue Devil Gymnasium, the host site of this 2024 Quincy Shootout. Great action last night. A little different type of action here this morning. Still a good contest, but these are schools that are a little more like the schools that we see on a daily basis, Jack, and I like this to be part of the shootout. I really do.
Well, I like the 9 o'clock game. Now, Principia is putting on a dunking show out here, and
oh, you want to see it?
I think the West Central kids are kind of seeing that a little bit too. But here's the deal. You find out that when you have all that athleticism and you're trying to do those extra things, sometimes those things don't always work out, especially when you're talking about freshmen and sophomores. I think the big thing for West Central in this game is play your normal type basketball game and push it when you can, do what you can do on that end of things, and don't try to do too much in the beginning and hang around because they're looking to get a win today. They've won 21 and only lost 2.
Well, that's the thing you know about this Cougar squad. They did not show up to just play the contest. They're here to win. And we'll take a look at the Farm and Home Supply starting lineups right after this.
Are you tired of being caught off guard? Slipping up in a winter storm? Don't let this be you. Say goodbye to shovels that break faster than your New Year's resolution.
Well, before the snow falls, visit your local Farm and Home Supply, your one-stop shop for everything winter. From snow blowers to a sturdy snow shovel. From different size ice scrapers to ice melt. And from sleds to hats, gloves, coats, bibs, and a lot more, we got you covered.
Warning, finding everything in one place may lead to extreme joy and the absence of disappointment. Farm and Home Supply is not responsible for spontaneous snowball fights, increased snow angel production, or the overwhelming desire to hug your snowblower.
Taking a look at the Farm and Home Supply starting lineups, from snacks and hoodies to power tools and lawn chairs. Nobody has it like your local Farm and Home Supply. That can also help you with all of your winter weather products, whether you need coats or caps or scarves or gloves or a snowblower. They have it all for you. Ice melt at Farm and Home Supply. Learn more at farmandhomesupply.com and find the location nearest you. The West Central Cougars will be the visiting team on the scoreboard here this morning. Ryan Seasting is their head coach, 21-2 on the season for the Cougars. Bill Jocko and Brady Schlegel are the assistants for West Central. They will wear the visiting uniforms here this morning with the black jerseys, white numbers, and silver trim, and their lineup will look like this. At a guard, he's a 6-foot senior. That's Mason Berry. At a second guard, he's a 6-foot sophomore, Riker Forward. And at the third guard, it's a 6'2 senior, Zach Evans. At a forward, he's a 6'4 senior, Chance Little. And at the other forward, he is a 6'2 junior, Carson Brown. Brown, Little, Evans, Ford, and Berry for West Central. And their post players, Jack, and Little and Brown, are going to have to play bigger than maybe their actual stature here this morning.
They're really going to have to try to do some different things. And, you know, you may have to even resort to a zone once in a while instead of the man-to-man if you don't match up with those 6'8", 6'9 kids.
How much of an advantage is it that Ryan Seasting used to help coach at the college level? He's kind of seen a lot of different athletes over the years and kind of how you have to adjust to that. Now, you can't always do that with the personnel you have, but I think that gives him a little bit of an advantage.
You know, one thing Ryan Seasting does, he lets these kids play ball. They may get a little street play once in a while, but kids like to play ball, and you can't control every step that they make.
Let's meet the Principia Panthers out of the St. Louis area. Jay Blossom, their head coach, 12-3 on the season. They'll start at a guard, a 6-foot sophomore, Jaden Jones. At a second guard, the 5'6 sophomore, Jalen Edwards. And at the third guard, he's a 6'1 freshman. That is Noor Qasim Turah. Out of forward, he's a 6'6 sophomore, Ron Henry. And at the other forward, the 6'5 sophomore, Ben Okoro. Okoro, along with Henry, Qasim Turah, Edwards, and Jones for Principia.
Was that their JV team? Because it was all freshmen and sophomores.
They're a pretty young squad, aren't they? And team that could really grow if they can get everybody to stick together.
See if Chance Little can use that quick first step and make some things happen today. We're ready for basketball. Here's Charlie to tell you about it.
Little jump against Ron Henry, and the tip is up and controlled by, well, it's going to be Principia basketball here as the ball actually was tipped out of bounds. So West Central will get the possession arrow. Principia will get the ball to start this morning's contest. just underway here in game number 1 of 9 on the day. Edwards with it on the dribble. Works it out front now. That's to Jaden Jones, the 6-foot sophomore. Zone defense. Nope, it's a man-to-man for West Central. Maybe a little box and one. Here's a 3 on the way. No good by Jones. Rebound put back, won't fall. Rebound up again by Qasim Taraf. No good. And Barry gets the rebound for West Central. To Evans into the front court. Down low, Little goes at the rim. Underneath too far. Blocked out of bounds. And it will be Cougars basketball on the baseline.
I like what Chance Little did right off the bat, that we went right at him. And he's going to find out a couple of head fakes are going to make a difference.
Barry lobs it in. Throws it over the top of the head a little. Has to run it down out front a bit here. Ball handoff on the right side goes to Ford. Gets it to Barry out between the circles. Now Brown looks for the ball handoff to Evans. Evans deep 3. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound fought for. Brown kept it alive, but it's grabbed by Principia. The end of the front court quickly as Edwards on the drive. Little floater in the lane, up and good. Jalen Edwards puts Principia, the Panthers, on top in the early going here, 2-0.
Getting a little second chance help right off the bat is Principia, and we're going to have to block out if you're West Central.
Brown gives it to Evans on the left wing. Thought about the 3, now Little top of the key. Hands it off to Barry. Barry with the between the leg dribble, trying to turn the corner. Gets caught on the baseline, now needs some help. Little comes out to assist. Back to Barry. Just underway here in quarter number 1. It's 2-0 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Barry now knifes the lane. Little floater up too hard. Rebound Riker Ford puts it up, won't fall. And the rebound is secured again by Ford. See just how to hustled everybody for the third chance opportunity. He's got it from the corner for a 3, and it's good. Riker Ford tickles the twine from 19-9 and puts West Central up early, 3-2. Quickly the other way in transition. Layup is up and good by Ron Henry, and Principia takes the lead right back. Going to see a little up and down basketball here this morning.
That's what Riker Ford can do. He can hit that 3 out front, and he can be a difference maker for this team till Evans gets loose.
Little now loses the ball off of his thigh and out of bounds, and a turnover, the first of the contest by either team. 5:59 to play in the first. 4-3, the Principia Panthers have the lead and the basketball.
Their coach really wants them to go. West Central's got to slow them down a little bit.
Pass on the wing comes to Hughes. 3-point shot, good look. Rims in and out, no good. Offensive rebound, Jalen Edwards. He'll push it out on the perimeter to Benacoro. Top of the key now, a quick touch for Henry. Look to the corner on a dribble drive for Qasim Taraf, and he'll lay it in for 2.
6-3 lead now. That 3-point lead, the biggest of the ball game for either team at the 5:32 mark of the first quarter.
Evans with it left side, guarded by Henry, who stands at 6'6". But can really move. On the right side now, Ford. He'll take it on the little give and go down to Brown, who puts it up and in. Nice pick and roll action by the Cougars, and it makes it a 6-5 contest.
They're still playing their game on the offensive side.
Here's Edwards, drives the lane. Little floater up, no good. Rebound put back up and won't fall for Henry. And Brown grabs his 3rd rebound already for the Cougars. Into the front court, Barry has a man open underneath, and Little lets the defender fly by. Shot up is good, and he'll go to the free throw line trying to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play as Chance Little gets the basket to go to put West Central on top.
I think it was Okoro. You're going to have to help me on where they put the fouls up there. I can't spot that.
Looked like they were calling that on Ben Okoro, correct.
Okay, his first. And the and one for Little is no good. West Central with a 7-6 lead.
Cougars on top, 7-6 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. And now we'll see a foul called on the Cougars. It'll be their first of this morning. Called on Carson Brown.
Sorry, I'm just off to the side here trying to get some of these picked up. Thank you, Charlie. First on Brown, first on the Cougars. Riker Ford sits down. And is that Meyer in the game, I do believe?
It is Caden Meyer. And now a traveling called out front as Ron Henry, they'll say, shuffled the feet on the catch, and a turnover on Principia. The Panthers, their first of the day. I did like Principia. West Central, of course, didn't stay in town last night like the Panthers did, but man, Principia was here early getting that energy going.
And they played last night and had to get things underway and get a little sleep and try to be ready to go again.
Evans out top, 3-ball on the way, and the all-time leading scorer for the Cougars puts 3 more into that scoring column and makes it 10-6. Biggest lead of the contest right now. Qasim Taraf leaves it off on the wing to Edwards. Now on the dribble. Pass back to Ron Henry. His runner-up no good. Rebound tipped around. Evans gets the rebound and is fouled by Jalen Edwards.
Edwards going to pick up his first, and that will be the second team foul on Principia. Once again, looking at what West Central's doing, they're playing their type basketball game, and they're not being intimidated. They're going to give up a lot of offensive rebounds, 5 already in the ball game.
Did you see Principia full court press much last night?
Not much. Nope. They got long in the half court and really caused Notre Dame a lot of turnovers in the first half, 14 in fact.
Evans free for 3, in and out, no good as it rolled in and popped back out, and the rebound down to Principia as Henry got the board. Out top, Jones kicks to the wing. That's Edwards. Edwards now gets it back on the right-hand side. 3:53 to play in the first. Jones kicks left side. Good quick first step by Gassim Turab, but they'll say he stepped on the baseline and a turnover the second by the Panthers.
Use the baseline, let him beat him there, and then force him out, did Evans that time. And now a 10-6 lead for the West Central Cougars on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard at the 3:46 mark of the first quarter of play, and they're on the attack again.
Quentin Coleman has checked into the game for Principia, a 6-foot sophomore.
They used pretty much their whole lineup last night.
Meyer pass to the left side. Evans feeds Little in the post. Shot put up off the window and in for 2. And West Central has doubled up Principia now, 12-6.
4 for Little in the early going.
Okoro with it out top. The 6'5 sophomore works the ball around to Gassim Turab. Now back out top, Okoro trying to create spin move underneath. Might have got away with steps. Shot no good. Rebound on the second chance is Quentin Coleman, fresh into the game, and has an offensive rebound. Shot clock resets, 15 seconds. Dribble drive in. Okoro can't get it to go, but he's bumped and fouled and heads to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Chance Little's going to pick up the foul, his first team second. 2 free throws the other way come the way of Ben Okoro, has looking for his first point of the day.
West Central's given up a lot of offensive rebounds here in the early going, and Ryan Seasting frustrated by that. He knows if they can keep Principia off the board, they've got a good chance at this game.
Principia has not scored for a while, and Okoro finally does with that first free throw.
Riker Ford checks back in, as does Carson Brown for West Central. On the other side into the contest, Ron Henry, I believe, is the young man that just returned. Nope, that is not Ron. That is Siku Cisse, the 6'7 freshman.
Yeah, he's a pretty good little athlete in his own right. Second one by Okoro is up and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Cameron Sievers has also checked in for the first time on the day for West Central. He's got the ball on the dribble toward the front court. 3 minutes to play in the opening period. Meyer with a way out top. There's a dangerous bounce pass, and it's tipped into the backcourt by Cisse and stolen away. Now Cisse gets the pass, goes up for it, hangs in the air, and gets it to go. Siku Cisse fresh into the game and has 2 to his name, and West Central wants to call the timeout. It's the Adams Network timeout for fast, reliable internet that doesn't buffer no matter what life throws at you. It's Adams Fiber. Visit followthefiber.net. West Central took the time out as a little run here by Principia. Cougars' first time out of the game on the Adams Network timeout. 2:43 to play in the first. It's a 12-10 Cougar advantage.
Little down right now.
Here's a pass down low, knocked away by Principia. It'll be ball out of bounds to West Central. Into the contest, Christian Dake, a 6-foot junior. Also in for Principia is Wyatt Slay, a 6'2 freshman.
Slay was very active on the offensive side and scored a lot of points in the second half for his team. Kind of saved the day for them.
Evans gets it back on the inbounds pass. Shot clock above the basket, which is what you're seeing on your screen as well. They've had a lot of trouble with that here at Quincy High for the last day or so. It kind of freezes up every once in a while, so that has confused some teams. Here's the ball stolen away by Quentin Coleman. He'll lay it up and in. Larceny in the layup and ties the game at 12 points apiece.
6-0 run for Principia.
Brown with it on the left side to Evans. Evans tries the baseline move. Spin move. Pretty shot. Can't get it to roll, though. And Slay with a rebound. Quick outlet pass goes to Gassim Turab. Left side and then through the hands of Christian Dake and out of bounds. And Principia with the third turnover. Chance Little will check back in for West Central.
Each team with 3 turnovers, and you know that little bounce pass that Severs tried earlier, you can't throw anything lazy against these guys because their eyes light up and they're heading to the other side, kind of like Zach Evans does when he gets on a breakaway.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where those passes that sometimes work against your normal competition, you've got to just make it a little quicker. And that's why this is a good game for West Central. 21-2. Have had a lot of games where they haven't really been challenged as Meyer gets it on the give and go. Shot up no good. Rebound pulled down to Quentin Coleman. This will help speed them up and get ready for that home stretch and into the postseason. Here's a pass out front. Good look. Quentin Coleman, 3. Rims in and out, no good. Rebound put back up and in for Noor Gassim Tara.
Give him 4 on the day, and the lead change is our 4th.
Some people, I think, thought that might have been over the back, but it was not, as Gassim Tara just out-jumped everybody to get the board. Here's Little out top to Meyer for a 3 on the way. It's no good. Rebound secured again by Gassim Tara. He'll work it to Dake into the front court. Now between the circles, Gassim Tara reverses it over to Slay. 114, call it 104 to play in the first as the clock stuck for 10 seconds there. Goodness. Here's a shot put up blocked, and Barry saves it in, and West Central will get the possession on the block on the board. Evans into the front court, less than a minute to play. Drives in, runner-up right hand, good. Zach Evans with 5, and makes it a 14-all score.
He doesn't back down from anything.
Here's Slay, deep 3, good. From way downtown, Wyatt Slay with the tray. And puts the Panthers right back on top, 17-14.
First time they've led by 3 in the game. No, second time they led 6-3 early.
Here's Little, going to put his head down, drive to the basket, and is fouled on the floor, the official tells us.
On the floor, and it goes against the Principia squad. I did not pick up who the foul was on.
I believe they called that on Slay.
Slay will pick it up. We'll give him his first and the third team foul. 27 seconds left in the quarter. 17-14 Principia.
Brown looks down low to Evans, trying to post up. Lost the ball, runs it down, but they'll say it was already out of bounds on a turnover on the Cougars. Had the matchup they wanted, just slipped out of his mitts.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go right after it, trying to pick up a few fouls, but you got a lot of guys to get in foul trouble if you're trying to get Principia there.
Gassim Tara brings it into the front court. 17 seconds to play in the first. Shot clock is turned off. 35-second shot clock here at the Quincy Shootout. It hasn't, I think we had one shot clock violation last night.
We only had a couple.
Here's a dry ball, lost out of bounds. We'll say it goes off of Barry. And with 3 seconds to play in the period, it'll be a ball underneath and probably a lob toward the rim possibly here for Principia.
Here comes Myers into the game real quick. I think they're going to try to get him in to avoid somebody getting a foul right at the end of the quarter.
Set Little down. Of course, Meyer here for West Central. Myers for Griggsville Perry.
Right.
But you guys just make a decision, right? Lob pass in to Cisse. His shot no good. Tipped up, won't fall. And that's the end of the first period. After one, it's Principia 17, West Central 14. Second quarter action for you next on Central Illinois Sports.
Stotzi Automotive and Tire, located at 201 Adams Street in Camp Point, Illinois, is your local automotive repair shop. Whether you need an oil change, brake job, alignment, engine repair, or new tires, Stotzi Automotive is here with honest and competitive pricing. Call Reagan and his team today to schedule your appointment. 217-740-5010. That's 217-740-5010 for Stotzi Automotive and Tire.
I'm Chris Nichols with PCRE Real Estate and Auction here in Pittsfield. For 15 years now, I've been specializing in selling farmland and hunting properties, along with homes and commercial real estate. Whether it's helping a seller get a premium price out of their home or assisting a buyer to find the farm of their dreams, I pride myself on providing elite customer service. Give me a call today at 217-473-3777 if I can help with any of your real estate needs, or feel free to jump on our website at pcrerealestate.com.
Good contest here for the 9 o'clock game. It's Principia 17, West Central 14. It should be West Central basketball to start the second quarter of play.
Principia 7 of 18, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. West Central 6 of 14, 2 of 5, and 0 for 1.
Cougars with the basketball down 3. They have Barry, Evans, Brown, Little, and Severs to start this second period of play. Severs with it on the right side. Gets it over to Little. Now on the left side, it's Barry with the basketball. Gets it down low to Little. Little puts up a shot, and it's up and good. Chance Little with another two to make it 17-16. 6 for Chance Little in this contest.
No second chance needed for him on that one.
Pass on the right side of Coro. Benacoro drives in. Defender flies by. Now they kind of get tangled up. Throws it out top to Christian Dake for 3, no good. Mason Berry with another board. He'll take it into the front court. Kind of caught on that sideline. Needs to get out of there. In some trouble. Pass comes off to Little. Little going to go out of Coro down low. Shot blocked by Coro, and he'll get the board. He'll bring the ball quickly into the front court now. Benacoro on the other end. Runner won't go. Rebound down to Jones. His putback no good. Fought for, and Evans secures the board for West Central, and he's hooked and fouled by Jaden Jones.
Jones going to pick up the foul, his first, and what a job by Evans on that whole series. Had a shot block, he altered a shot and got the rebound, and then was tough with the basketball, showing that young man's going to be able to play a little bigger than some might realize in his future basketball career. He's a jumper.
Also was pretty impressed by the handles on Benacoro there. He got that block on the other end, of the 6'5 sophomore was in the front court in a hurry. Now Little trying to go to work. It's a tough matchup for a kid like Chance Little in this game. Here's Evans on a drive, kicks to Berry right wing. Berry back to Evans. To Berry with 12 to shoot. 6:30 to play in the first. Berry drives, now caught near the free throw line, out to Sievers with 5. He'll pull up for a 3, and it's good. Cameron Sievers beats the shot clock and knocks down the deep ball to make a 19-17. Cougars back on top.
Would you call him confident? I would.
Here's a response on the other end. Quentin Coleman with a tray of his own, and Principia leads again by 1. Shooting has been good here in the early going for this 9 a.m. contest.
6 lead changes in the ball game, 2 ties.
Now Carson Brown lost the ball. He was down on the floor after it, and Ryan Seasting calls the timeout to avoid the turnover. It's an Adams Network timeout. Back with you after this.
Damon Plumbing, serving all of Pike County and the surrounding area with quality residential and commercial plumbing services. Damon Plumbing offers septic installation, drain cleaning, new water lines, remodel work for your home, or if you're planning a new build, make sure you include the Damon boys. To get it right the first time, no job too big. Have you seen Braden and Doug? Or too small? Sorry, Corby, couldn't resist. Call Braden at 217-491-5415 or Doug at 217-617-2318. Damon Plumbing, recommended by our family for your family.
From bag to field to bin, Prairieland FS is your home for quality seed. We treat it right here at one of our local facilities, deliver it right to your farm, and then provide the propane to fuel your bins. Have confidence in what you're putting in your engine with our energy specialist. They're focused on maximizing power, fuel efficiency, and engine protection to keep you going. We're neighbors serving neighbors. Prairieland FS, your leading supplier of choice.
Out of the West Central timeout, it's a 2019 Principia lead with 6 minutes to play in the first half. 24 on the shot clock for the Cougars as they inbound it here. Berry with the basketball across the big blue double at half court. Gets it to Brown. Brown with the left hand bounce, finds Evans. Evans off of the screen, going to try to go to work here. Now on the right side to Sievers with 9 to shoot. Looks on the drive. Cameron Sievers right to the rim. Too hard, didn't hit iron, and the rebound pulled down by Jones. Jones the other way for the Panthers. Worked it off to Coleman. Out top, three-point shot, Jalen Edwards. Nothing but the nylon.
He's got 5 in the ball game, 23-19 the score now.
Here's Sievers now, drives in, got a caught on the hip, and will be called for the travel.
Turnover number 5 on West Central, and here comes Riker Ford back in the game. And we'll see Sievers sit down.
Sievers had the right idea, though, and he really had a pretty good move. He had the man faked out. The ball that's kind of got caught on his hip on the crossover.
Chance Little's been down for a little while.
Here's a pull-up jump shot. Jaden Jones from 17, and you're going to leave that guy open, man. He's going to make some shots.
6-point lead, biggest in the ball game for Principia.
Evans with the left wing. Dribbles toward the wing, now on the drive. Kicks left side to Meyer, back out to Evans. 5 minutes to play in the second period. Evans back to Meyer in the little pick and roll. Skip it across in the corner. Berry for 3, good. Mason Berry with a big train. That's big for West Central because they're really clamping down here on Evans. As here's a shot put up and good by Jaden Jones, headed the other way. He's got another basket to make it 27-22. But if if guys like Ford and Barry can make those outside shots, Zach Evans will have a lot bigger into this second quarter and into the second half, because they're going to have to respect those guys on the perimeter. And we know they can make it because we've seen them play, right?
You bet.
Here's Barry with the basketball. Top of the key three, feeling it here. Shot too hard. And the rebound to Kasim Tara. He'll get it to Okoro into the front court. Okoro on the dribble drive. Pulls it behind the perimeter. That's to Kasim Tara. Back to Okoro. Over to Coleman. Now left side, it's Edwards. Quick step. Floater up. Runner up. Good. Jalen Edwards.
He's got 7 in the ball game.
29-22. A 7-point lead, the biggest of the contest. Halfway home in this second period. Now Evans loses his footing and is on the court. Jump ball. It'll head the way of Principia.
Turnover against West Central. There's 6. When you try to get in the land of the Giants, you get yourself kind of caught up a little bit. Carson Brown will sit down as Chance Little comes back in, so Myers stays in the ball game.
Katie Meyer tells us she's watching on a flight to Jamaica. I missed the invite, I guess.
Well, you know, she's like that. She worked hard at the Winchester tournament, though.
Do you think it's warmer in Jamaica than it is here in Quincy today?
Bill Cannell's there. I would think so.
Here's a drive by Okoro. Kicks to the wing. Jones, 3, good. And Principia starting to heat up a bit here.
7 for Jones now, and the lead is 10.
Ball down low. Little goes to work. Off the window and in for 2.
When
nice
you
job.
need it, there he is. He's got 8.
Finished through some contact there, too. Not a foul, but there was contact for sure with the chest. Ball comes to Okoro. Okoro pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebound down to Little. He'll give it to Evans. Quickly into the front court forward. To Evans out front, now Little. Hands it to Barry.
Riker Ford makes a lot of great decisions for a sophomore, doesn't he?
He's very heady. And now they'll call the holding foul underneath, as Kasim Tara going to be called for this one, as he was guarding Little.
His first, team second, I do believe, of the quarter. Here comes Carson Brown back in. We'll see Meyer sit down, who played some long minutes there. 3:02 left in the half. It's a 32-24 lead for Principia.
And bounce pass to Barry. Right side catches, launches a 3. It's an air ball. Rebound batted around, and it will head the direction of the Panthers.
You really have to make sure you're taking the shots you've got coming to you and not forcing anything when you're down by 8. Boy, Principia didn't give you much time to breathe, though. They get it right down the court, don't they?
It's a high-pace style of play they like to go with here. Jalen Edwards on the left side of Okoro from the baseline, and it's good. Ben Okoro with the baseline, Jay, from about 15. They've got some guys that can really shoot the rock.
34-24. Back to that 10-point lead.
Evans with it on the wing. Dribble drive in. Had the ball poked away. Got it back. Spin, shoots, scores. Then he'll get an and one.
Evans with the and one after on the foul by Principia. It looked like Ben Okoro. Is that what they got on the board?
Okoro, yes.
His second, team third. That would help if they could get a couple of those guys out. But, you know, they'll take him out and put Ron Henry in. He's just a 6'6 sophomore. So it's so hard for Ryan Seesing to look down the bench and say, hey, I need to take Chance Evans out. Could you 6'7" kids get up right now? That's what'll make you better, though. The senior leading scorer for West Central. In and out, no good. Rebound comes off the other way to Little. He had it for a moment and then lost it.
Into the front court, Gorsim Tara. Jump stop, shot, good. Lead back to 10.
Give him 6.
Here's a shot left side. Zach Evans from downtown won't fall, and Coleman has the rebound for Principia. 2:13 to play in the half. Long pass into the front court. Out of bounds off of the hands of Jaden Jones. It's that time Principia tried to get moving a little too fast.
Just the 4th turnover. White Slay back into the ball game. And he will sit Yassim Tara down. My mistake. Nope, no, my mistake. It was Jalen Edwards that sit down. I had all kinds of mistakes. Ford comes out on the other side. Who's in for West Central? Severs?
Who won that argument, by the way?
Well, I'm going to settle it later.
All right, here's Little on a good move to the rim. Ooh, just couldn't finish over the front of the rim. And the rebound pulled down here by Coleman. Quentin Coleman quickly the other way and in for 2. Transition basket for Principia, and they now lead by 12. Long pass to Little into the front court, and they'll say he travels. Couldn't control the pass, and with 1:45 to play in the half, it's a 12-point Principia lead, and they have the basketball.
QND was down by 16 at halftime, in fact 19 at halftime, and came back and got it with it in 7. So Principia will kind of go both directions on that.
Here's a missed 3 by Qasim Turah. Rebound down to Barry. I believe West Central plays QND at the Superfan Shootout, if I remember right. Here's Carson Brown, and he'll be called for the offensive foul.
Thought maybe the man might have slid under, but instead Brown's going to be called for the foul. It'll be his second, team first, I think, of the quarter. And I really think that time maybe the call didn't go the way of the Cougars, but that's the way she goes, and it'll be that way throughout the season. You got to live with those.
1:25 to play in the half. Ball in the corner goes to Coleman. Coleman for a 3, and it's good.
He had to get his balance, and then he did, and then he nailed a 3, and he's got 10.
Pretty nice to come off the bench. Quinton Coleman, the 6-foot freshman. Here's Barry. Dribble drive, spins, shoots, scores. Good move, Mason Barry.
He said his team needed points. He's got 5 now.
With a minute to play in the first half, Qasim Turah on the runner won't go. Rebound down to Carson Brown for West Central.
You got to take a charge down there against that team if you're going to slow them down a little bit, I'm afraid.
Barry into the front court, and he'll be bumped and fouled on the hand check.
Hand check on Jones, I do believe.
I think they called it on Quinton Coleman.
Coleman's going to pick up the foul. It'll be his first. Team 4th, ball out of bounds. Back in comes Jalen Edwards, also in Cisse back in the game.
Siku Cisse is 6'7", just a freshman. Looks like he might have some growing left to do still. He'd be one of those guys, if you could see Principia a year from now, he might be about 6'11", and a wingspan of a guy who is about 6'11", by the way.
Brad Hoyt will want to get done playing his game today and get over here and get a couple of those guys down the road.
Here's a ball knocked loose, but Barry is able to corral it. His pull-up jump shot good. Mason Barry with back-to-back baskets for the Cougars.
7 in the quarter for him.
To make it an 11-point game with 30 seconds left. Shot clock is turned off. Well, let's say it should be turned off anyway. It's actually just, there it goes.
It's off, it's on. It's arguing with itself, just like me.
Not against the 35-second shot clock. I don't really think it changes the game that much. I just want to know who's going to run it at all these places. Quincy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people working the bench right now. Here's a drive in, shot put up. It's a travel call on Slay. I don't know, somebody's running the video board and somebody's doing the PA, and there's probably a scorebook guy in there, but 7 people. Tell me who's going to do that at the small schools.
But who's making the cupcakes? That's what I want to know.
6 seconds to play. Barry into the front court. Toward the right wing, dribble drive, spin move, shot up off balance, no good. And we head to halftime, the Little Jess Motors halftime show. It's Principia 41, West Central 30. Halftime stats and more your way after this.
Today's halftime show is brought to you by Little Jess Motor Company in Quincy, Illinois. We'd like to introduce you to the brand new 2024 Dodge Hornet GT all-wheel drive, offered at $32,325. The 2024 Dodge Hornet pays homage to the iconic legacy of Dodge performance. The Hornet GT comes equipped with a 2.0 Hurricane 4 turbo engine that boasts up to 268 horsepower, making it the most powerful compact utility vehicle on the market. Stop by Little Jess today and take this eye-catching CUV powerhouse for a spin.
The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, with locations in Griggsville, Mount Sterling, and Pittsfield. Maybe you ask, why choose Farmers National Bank of Griggsville? The answer is simple. Local people, local decisions, and local commitment with local investments. We have many products and services to meet your needs. We invite you to find out more about us. Go to fmbgriggsville.com and explore all the services we offer. Visit any of our 3 friendly locations in Mount Sterling, Griggsville, and Pittsfield today. The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, local people helping local people, member FDIC. Hey,
grab me one too.
Back with you on the Little Jess Motors halftime show. It is a 41-30 lead for Principia on top of West Central at the halftime break. And here's Brian Shoemaker with Muddy River Sports Director Matt Schuckman.
Brian Shoemaker with you live here on the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime show, live from Game 1 here this morning at the Quincy Shootout. where Principia leads Winchester West Central 41-30 at halftime. Speaking with Matt Schuckman, sports editor at Muddy River Sports. Matt, it's bright and early here at Blue Devil Gym, but we've actually got a really nice basketball game between two teams who are really poised to get this basketball up and down the court. Winchester West Central has played against some of the best teams in the area here, but they're finding themselves with a little more than they can bargain for in Principia this morning. What do you see out of that team that's causing problems for the Cougars?
Well, I think the big thing is Principia's length. It's going to cause problems for a lot of people, not just the Cougars. I think that Quincy Notre Dame struggled with that on Friday night, and the defensive pressure that comes with that. Jay Blossom does a great job of having his team ready, wanting to get in your face. They want to push the pace defensively, which is what they've done here in the first half.
A lot of balanced scoring on the Winchester West Central side. Mason Berry's got 7. Zach Evans has 7, who just became West Central's all-time leading scorer last night. And you see Chance Little with 8. Chance has been one of those guys on the inside who's really been able to excel this year. What do they need to do to maybe get that basketball inside and let number 24 really start to take over here later tonight?
Well, we've seen some nice entry passes, and I think this group does a great job of moving the basketball. I think it's the stuff that happens away from the ball. You know, the back cuts, the screens, those type of things that have to take place for Winchester to get the ball inside. Now, what I really like is the way they share the basketball. Like, if they get guys open, they find them. And done a great job with entry passes so far. It's just hard when you get in there and against that type of size and that type of length that you're not used to seeing.
We'll be here all day, folks, live from the Quincy Shootout on Central Illinois Sports. Brian Shoemaker with your Little Jess halftime report. We'll take a quick break. Jack, John, and Charlie will have the rest of your halftime stats coming up here in a few minutes, live on Central Illinois Sports.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent! Party on, James! Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer! We love beer!
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
Game Masters is your headquarters for all your hunting gear. We have more than just camo hunting attire. Come check out our casual lines of Sitka, Under Armour, North Face, Columbia, Drake, and more. Pursue your prey with these off-road Quiet Cat bikes from Game Masters. Easy to transport and perfect for your next hunting adventure. Game Masters, we're passionate about the outdoors.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. At Northwestern Mutual, we focus on your outcome. That's why we know what it takes to succeed both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go and design a financial plan to take you there so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day after. Focus on your financial outcome with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Sheila Davidsmeyer today. Her office is located at 311 West Washington in Pittsfield, Illinois, or visit SheilaDavidsmeyer.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Back at the Little Jess Motors halftime show. Little Jess, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at 3431 Main Street in Quincy, Illinois. The place to go for your next car buying purchase. Their staff is committed to making the car buying process simple and making sure each customer's needs are met. Learn more at littlejessmotor.com or see them just right across the street from Quincy High School, just up the road a bit here from Blue Devil Gym.
6 lead changes in the ball game, tied at 12 and 14. Turnovers, 5 on Principia, 9 on West Central. They'll have to cut down on that. West Central is 13 of 28 from the field, 46%, 4 of 10 from the arc for 40%, 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Led in the first half by Chance Little with 8 points. Evans and Berry had 7 apiece. Severs added a 3, Riker Ford added a 3. On the Principia side, 18 of 33. They're shooting it in close, 54%. 5 of 10 from the arc, though. They're pretty good from there, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Double figures already for Quentin Coleman. He's got 10. 6 for Jaden Jones, also 6 for Gassim Touré, I should say. Ron Henry with 2. 3 for Wyatt Slay, 4 for Ben Okoro. And coming in, Cisse had 2 points. It is a 41-30 lead at halftime here for the squad from Principia. Second half play-by-play comes your way after these.
You're getting thirsty, bold,
refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
United Community Bank has been serving our community in banking since 1973 and is a proud member of the Pittsfield Strong United community. UCB brings you the latest banking technology, security, and convenience you expect, delivered with friendly local service you deserve from your community bank. UCB invites you to stop in for a visit at number 1 Professional Plaza in Pittsfield, or you can find them online at ucbbank.com. United Community Bank, the leader of community banking, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Sign up for a Saki Rewards debit card.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agents at B&P Insurance Agency, Barber Agency. See Pat Vandevelde, Caleb Vandevelde, or Mary Coltis. You'll find our location at 114 South Madison Street in Pittsfield.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You've heard that phrase many times. And Rod Prentice in Pittsfield, your State Farm agent, is the guy you can count on to be your friend and neighbor in the insurance business. He has a complete line of insurance available for you from State Farm Insurance. You can reach him at 217-285-6930. Our family trusts Rod Prentice with all of our insurance needs. Stop by their office on Washington Street and see the girls. And Rod Prentice, your State Farm agent, 217-285-6930.
At Full Throttle Parts, we do spray-on bed liners, a brand called Patriot Liner. It is very elite. It actually enhances the resale value of anything you put it on or off-road.
Go Full Throttle!
Go Full Throttle.
Today's halftime show is brought to you by Little Jess Motor Company in Quincy, Illinois. We'd like to introduce you to the brand new 2024 Dodge Hornet GT all-wheel drive, offered at $32,325. The 2024 Dodge Hornet pays homage to the iconic legacy of Dodge performance. The Hornet GT comes equipped with a 2.0 Hurricane 4 turbo engine that boasts up to 268 horsepower, making it the most powerful compact utility vehicle on the market. Stop by Little Jess today and take this eye-catching CUV powerhouse for a spin.
Back with you. Thank you to Little Jess Motors for being our halftime sponsor. 41-30, the lead for Principia on top of West Central here at the halftime break. It'll be Cougars basketball to start the second period, I believe. And we're just about ready to get back to live action. West Central will have Ford, Berry, Little, Evans, and Brown. That's the way they started the contest. For Principia, they have Jones, Kasim Torre, Okoro. Also out there is Ron Henry. And the fifth man is Jalen Edwards, their original starters as well. Waiting to get the clock reset, and everybody will be ready to roll.
We were trying to put 2.9 on it last night at Notre Dame, and it took about 4 minutes to get that.
Did anybody make a shot after that?
No.
So it was all for naught. Barry with the basketball. Let's see what type of adjustments that West Central made to try to make a little comeback here. And a turnover now as Little couldn't get disengaged from the defender. Jones takes it into the front court to Okoro. Okoro on the dribble left side. Just underway here in the third quarter. An 11-point lead for Principia. Now the Panthers have the basketball. Edwards on the right side. Dribble drive, Kasim Torre. Lost it on the baseline, but somehow able to run it down in the corner. Out top to Jones for a three. It's no good. Offensive rebound, though, to Jalen Edwards. Edwards from 18. Good.
Second chance baskets are tough for him, and Edwards has got 10 now.
Well, Principia has done a really good job of aggressively going after those offensive rebounds.
Did they just call that a 2?
It was a 2.
Okay.
Correct. Here's Evans on a pull-up jump shot, no good. Little gets the rebound. Shot up won't fall, as was altered by Henry, and Henry gets the board. His pass now is off the foot of Kasim Torre, and a timeout going to be called by Principia. An Adams Network timeout. If you're looking for the best internet in the area, it's Adams Fiber. Look no farther. Speeds up to 1 gigabit. Wi-Fi 6. Followthefiber.net for more information.
I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella.
You're dating someone?
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. Arlo's not a boy. Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera. Named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?
Back to live action after the Principia timeout. Panthers, a little pull-up jump shot by Touré, and it's up and good.
He hung in the air, and he made his 8th point of the day.
And makes it 45-30. 15-point advantage on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Here's Evans. Pull-up jump shot won't fall. Rebound pulled down by Kassim Touré. And working on the right side. Three-pointer is up and good for Jaden Jones. And now West Central on the timeout as they've seen this lead grow to 18. 6:19 to play in the third on the Adams Network timeout. Principia off and running here in the third quarter.
Go team, go! Great Rivers Bank has a digital banking app worth cheering for. Move your money, pay your bills, deposit your checks. Hooray! Hooray! Set up a budget, manage your debit card, set up account alerts, and so much more. Our digital banking will give you a reason to stand up and cheer for banking. Learn more at greatriversbank.bank. Great Rivers Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
West Central took the timeout. They have 2 remaining for the contest as the Cougars came out a little flat-footed to start this third quarter and now find themselves down by 18 points.
Yeah, now Quincy Notre Dame last night came out fired up and cut the lead. Notre Dame showed them what they need to do now. That's what West Central has to do is get fired up.
Little with the basketball, hands it off to Evans. Little runner up right hand won't go. Rebound is pulled down here by Ron Henry. Now work it to Jones on the dribble into the front court. To Okoro on the wing. He'll attack down low, kick it to the corner. Jones, another 3 opportunity, no good. Good box out by Carson Brown. His outlet pass, though, nearly stolen away and will be off of Jones out of bounds. And so it stays with the Cougars.
And don't forget, sophomore, freshman on this team from Principia. I'm betting they'll be back next year, and who's going to want to play them?
Well, if they can keep everybody together, you do
Right.
see a lot of movement in a lot of teams now. Here's a shot put up by Evans. Deep 3, no good. And Ron Henry with another board. He's got a bunch of them today. Into the front court, Kassim Touré gets it to Jones on the left side. Back out front, and the Panthers will set up the half-court attack. Dribble drive by Edwards. Kicks the top of the key to Henry. Jones, right side. Edwards, 3-ball, good look. Won't go. Rebound on the play down to Okoro. His baseline jump shot on the turnaround, no good. Another good box out by Carson Brown, and he'll force the man to be over the back.
That time it's going to be Ron Henry picking up the foul, and Brown the last 2 series have really done a nice job boxing out and moving that person back and out of his way. And that's the second part you got to do when those guys are that big over the top of you.
Kind of a lost art, boxing out.
He could teach it.
Well, everybody just kind of jumps now, right? And if you can really do it, you can get an advantage as Evans spins in. Shot no good, but he's bumped on the way. And we'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2 shots.
Tried to pick up who the foul was on that time.
Okoro called for this one.
Thank you. It'll be his 3rd. Second team foul. Evans with 2. Evans has 7 points in the day, now 8. And it makes it a 48-31 ball game.
Zach Evans eclipsed the 1,800-point mark last night. Danny Stevens in our region, probably the last guy to get to that point, but that's a lot of points, Jack.
Both of them were hurt by COVID, too.
Yep.
They each one lost probably 400 points they would have scored.
I mean, a legit shot at 2,000, though.
Yep.
Second
Evans
one
makes them both. He's got 9.
And makes it a 48-32 game.
Yeah, COVID took a lot of things away, and I know that didn't seem like much in points, but for some kids that really made a difference. Danny with that and the injury.
There's a shot put up, no good. A rebound on the play down to Zach Evans for West Central. His pass into the front court stolen away, though, as nobody was aggressively after that one. Jones with a takeaway and the 2.
Jones makes it happen, doesn't he?
He's a quick young man. Jaden Jones, a 6-foot sophomore, really putting on a show here in this 9 o'clock contest. Now he gets a near steal, just a deflection, though, as it goes out of bounds. And with 4:27 to play in the third, the Cougars will have it on the sideline.
The thing about Jaden Jones is he's got all those big guys around him, so he can just kind of throw it up there a lot of times and know they're going to get some other rebounds off of it. He and on the other side of things, Edwards, both able to take advantage of that.
Barry with it out top, hands it to Evans. Now to Barry, left side. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Over it goes to Brown. Now Ford. Haven't gotten many open looks for Riker Ford today. Been a little tougher here with 10 to shoot. Now Barry trying to create. Looks for an opening, ball knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with West Central with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Severs and Meyer back in. Brown and Ford sit down for the Cougars.
Going to have to get Riker Ford fired up here and making some threes if they're going to get back in this one, though.
Meyer to inbound. Guarding the ball is John Henry. That's a guy to throw over. Here's Severs on a three on the inbounds, and he'll knock it down. His second triple of the game.
He's been confident. 6 for him.
50-35. Cameron Severs. It's been a good spark for this team at different times this season off the bench. Here's a turnaround jump shot up and good as Quentin Coleman with a long J.
He's got 12, ties the leading scorer in Jones on the day, and another man just a point off of double figures here with 3:39 left in the third.
Evans pass down low a little. In some traffic, trying to go up with it, and they'll call him for a travel.
Turnover against West Central, their 12th, third in the third quarter of play. 3:31 left third quarter, 52-35. Principia with the lead. And on the attack over West Central, they'll need some help bringing the ball in.
And Chance Little, I mean, for 1A basketball, is a good post player, right? In Illinois, 1A basketball. But you start to see that there's levels to this game, right? I mean, it changes a lot. 6'4" guys, we saw mostly guards yesterday playing at that height.
And guys with shoulders that look like tight ends in the NFL that are freshmen in high school, like the young man that just passed the ball in Cisse.
Here's a shot put up, no good. Rebound tipped around and out of bounds. They'll say Cisse touched it last. Jihadi White for Chaminade. Looks like he could play tight end for the Bears right now.
I think it was Cameron Barnes last night that had 11 rebounds and 8 points. It's a freshman. And
turnover.
That's going to be a turnover against West Central. They're 13th, and they're starting to flow there. They've had 3 in their last 4 possessions.
A little frustrated are the Cougars here. They're not used to this, but this is a good learning experience for this team.
Yeah.
I like that Ryan Seasteen continues to challenge his team.
Well, last year they played Waterloo Jabot in the middle of the season, and it helped them later. But, that's how you're going to get to the next step.
There's a pass down low. Entry pass too wide for Cisse, and out of bounds into the contest. Jalen Edwards returns. He'll sit Jaden Jones down.
6 turnovers now on Principia, just the first of the second half, with 2:50 left in the quarter.
Cougars need a basket here. Severs gets it on the dribble against Slay. Out top to Little. Turns down the three. Back cut to Evans. Evans knifes the lane. Little floater up and good. He showed there that quick elevation that he has off of 2 feet is why he'll be able to play at the next level. Here's a spin move. Turnaround shot high. Glass no good. Rebound up and in. Quentin Coleman on the putback, and another second chance opportunity for Principia.
14 for Coleman, 4 in the second half.
Dribble drive in. Little gets it to go. And they'll say count the basket, I believe. Count it. Yep, the referee tells us. And he'll go to the free throw line trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play.
Cisse going to pick it up, I think.
Yep.
Cisse picks it up, and Little with another 2. Now has 10 in the ball game in double figures. Make it 11 with the made free throw.
And Carson Brown will check in, give Little a little breather. He's had to work hard today on both ends of the court for anything that he's gotten, has Chance Little.
Well, no excuse. They played last night, so did Principia.
Yep. For sure. Left side with it is Coleman. Now Edwards. Hands to Slay. Knifes the lane. Left side, good look, 3-ball corner. No good for Jones this time. Check if that was Coleman. And then he gets a steal on the outlet pass. His shot is up, won't fall. But foul and heads to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2 shots.
Chance Little's going to pick up that foul. It'll be his second, first of the third quarter.
No, not Little. Meyer.
Oh, they called it on Meyer. Meyer got bumped around a little bit ago and just was not able to recover on that. I thought Chance had the swing and the miss, but instead you're going to put Coleman at the free throw line, and he makes the first.
First one up makes it a 15-point game.
Coleman now with 15, 5 in the second half. 55-40, 2 minutes left in the quarter. You get a little deeper here, and it makes it tougher on the guys coming off the bench. Second one up by Coleman, also good. And they're doing a lot of things right again today.
12-3 on the season is Principia, and again, no seniors. 2 juniors. Dake was in earlier. We haven't seen the other junior on the team, so everybody else is a freshman and sophomore. I mean, it's a loaded group of talent as Little puts up a shot, no good. Looked like he might have twisted an ankle a bit, but he's all right, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot another 2 shots.
Chance Little will go back in, trying to add to his 11-point total. Him and Zach Evans lead the way for West Central. 1:47 left in the third quarter, 56-40, a 16-point deficit, but you can make some of it up with the clock not running here. First one up by Little is good. 3 in a row from the free throw line, give him 12 on the day, and cuts it to 15. 56-41, Little with 1:47 left. Will try the second, Will, the senior, and it's off the rim, no good. Rebound comes off to Ron Henry the other way.
And a whistle. It looked like Ron Henry is having a little shoe problem. He blew his shoe, so they'll stop play.
We've seen a few shoes go flying. Riker Ford's going to come flying back into the game, too. Will he bring in, or he's going to come in for Cameron Seaver, who's played with a lot of intensity.
A lot of different shoes these days. The old days of team shoes kind of seem like it's gone on the wayside. Everybody's kind of on their own thing, and you see a lot of different colors mixed in. I kind of like it. It gives kids a little chance to show off their own personality as Barry gets a steal, spin move, drives in, shot off the side of the backboard, no good as he got it a little too deep. And then we'll have a held ball. Good battle for the basketball, and Principia will get it on the alternating possession arrow with 1:24 to play in the third.
Well, Barry got moving too fast and threw a shot up, and it was blocked, but he was continuing to fight for the ball. Tied up the young man from Principia in Edwards, but Principia on the attack again with a 15-point lead.
Henry hands the ball off to Jones. Back to Henry. Going to go to work in the paint. Turnaround shot. Uses the length. Can't get it to go. Rebound put back. Asim Torah up and in.
Hurrah for Torah. He's got 10.
Here's Little the other way, and he's going to start to try to make a living at the free throw line as he's fouled again. The 5th team foul on Principia with 1:05 to play in the third. And Chance Little to shoot 2.
Little will go to the free throw line. Again, 3 for 4 from there. Has 12 points. Shoots 2.
Yes.
First one is up and good.
Foul on Ron Henry there for
Principia. You had this angle last night. I had the one a little bit more straight up, and so it takes a little time to get used to that.
Well, it doesn't help that the only board that displays individual fouls is directly to our left, but not in the sight line.
Not in our sight view for sure. Little second, also good. Give him 14.
And makes it 58-43.
You got to get a stop, and those second chance baskets have been prevalent all day long for Principia.
Principia has not shot much under 15 seconds on the shot clock in the game. Slay now on the right side. That's to Coleman. He'll drive in. Kick to the wing at Edwards. He'll try the drive. Now with 13 to shoot, about as deep as they've gone in the shot clock. Shot no good. Slay kept it alive, but it's pulled in by Evans on the rebound. He'll take it toward the front court to Barry left side. Off to Little on the baseline. Goes to work on the bounce. Now to Barry. Barry drives in to Little. Got to get it back out top Evans. There he is. Deep 3. Evans is short. And the rebound down to Coleman. He'll push the other way. Shot clock turned off with 20 seconds to play in the period. 58-43, the Principia lead on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. And they'll hold for 1, will the Panthers. Edwards with it against Evans. Kicks to the wing, right side, Slay, open look for 3, and he knocks it down. Slay with a big 3 to end the third, and we head to quarter number 4. Principia has stretched it out a bit here after 3 quarters. They're on top of West Central, 61-43.
Every day, banks touch every corner of our lives. They support us when we turn life's goals into accomplishments. Goals like opening a small business, buying a home, planting a crop, having a baby. From your first car to life after retirement, Central State Bank is there for all of your life's milestones. CSB is central to your banking needs. Visit us in Clayton, Kinderhook, Pittsfield, Pleasant Hill, and Quincy, or at csb123.com. Central State Bank wishes all of the teams well on the hardwood this week.
The thing for me that really separates DOT, senior leadership and the owners of the business really focus on employee engagement.
We have some of the best people managers.
The Tracy family, senior leaders throughout the business, really all of our leaders care about the employees that work here.
And that allows for a lot of families to come work at Dot Foods, and I think that's part of it, is being able to have all those different schedules and the flexibility to be able to move things around when life happens.
Ready to start quarter number 4. It's Principia 61, West Central 43. Cougars have the basketball to start the final frame.
Cougars are 16 to 37, 5 of 14, 6 of 9 from the charity stripe. On the other side, 27 to 51 for Principia. Little goes up strong, gets fouled on the play, and he'll go back to the free throw line where he's made 11 in the second half. 14 points, and he has scored 6 of them in the second half. 61-43, 7:49 left. Chancellor said, "Oh, what I'd give to have a couple 6'7" guys with me right now." First one up by Little is a little too long.
Or how about to be 6'7" himself, right?
No, wouldn't hurt a thing. The long list of Littles in basketball in West Central and North Green basketball. There have been a lot of good ones. Second one by Chance, a little too long. And the rebound comes off to Edwards again, his fourth.
He's a one-man fast break into the front court. Shot it up, no good. Rebound tip-up wouldn't fall for Qasim Tara. And the rebound this time to the Cougars.
They tried to dunk it.
Evans, left side, Barry. 3-ball on the way, no good. Rebound loose to Edwards. Again, he's quickly the other way and is fouled by Barry.
Barry will pick up the foul. It'll be his first. Team first to the fourth quarter. You watch Edwards dribbling the basketball, and he just looks like he's putting on a clinic in a dribbling formation like the Harlem Globetrotters with 2 people on him.
They list him at 5'6". I think he's just a hair taller than that maybe, but not much. Not a very tall young man yet.
He and Jones are both playmakers, though.
Benacoro's a pretty good-sized lad, though, 6'5", but he knocks down that jump shot, and he's kind of showing that his game has a lot of versatility to it.
Give him 6.
And it's a 20-point Principia lead. West Central was in a battle early in this contest, but just the depth of Principia, talent-wise, is there's a drive-in by Little, and he's had a good day, doing all he can for his squad.
16 for him now.
And I'm not necessarily talking about number of players that have played in this game, but just the amount of talent that is continually comes at you. Missed shot. Down low, rebound loose, and a turnover on Principia as Coleman got it, trying to find Qasim Tara. Goes off of him and out of bounds. Dead ball here, out of bounds to West Central as Meyer and Sievers return. Brown sits down, and also Ford.
The coaching staff for Principia has got a little bit of experience, and they really have control of these young men and make them pay attention. On the other side, West Central's doing all they can do. Last year we saw Southeastern play a team not quite at the level of Principia. They spent all their time stopping Danny Stevens.
Here's Evans now. A little English on that shot underneath, no good. Rebound down to Edwards.
Trying to create, just couldn't get it to fall.
The thing about it is that the next level for a kid like Zach Evans will be, is this ball now tipped out of bounds and then a 2-point takedown underneath. The thing about it is for Zach Evans at the next level, he'll be a guy that probably not going to be a primary ball handler. He'll be that 2 guard most of the time. He'll get a lot of open looks on that perimeter. He'll be one of those guys that makes a living from downtown.
When you've got to defend more than one person, that makes a tremendous difference. And, a place like John Wood or someplace like that wouldn't be a bad place for him to land to get his game going.
Yep, would be a good starting point for sure. We talked about that last night. Jeremiah Tolton, the Quincy High a couple years ago, who now playing at Lindenwood, which is a D1 level now. Here's a turnaround shot at Coro, no good. Tip up won't fall. Tip up again, and now Evans has the board, and over the back is Quentin Coleman. But Jeremiah Tolton started out at John Wood, which I think was a really good move for him, was the player of the year in the conference, and then said, hey, I think it's time to go to another level. But you kind of have to figure out where you're at before you can make that big jump. Sometimes that big jump can be overwhelming. Here's Barry on a drive, high glass, no good. Rebound loose, and Coleman pulls it in.
Finished the thought he was going to go to New Orleans and decided John Wood, and that was a good move for him to put him right back into play of things. And he has landed where now?
Lindenwood.
Yeah.
Yep, they made that transition to Division I, and they're doing okay. Here's a second chance opportunity as Okoro gets the rebound. Pull-up jump shot, no good for Jones. Rebound loose, another rebound on the offensive side. Coleman kept it alive. He does again. Trying to go back up with it, blocked by Evans. Rebound run down in the corner, saved in, and again to Principia, and the Panthers would like a timeout here.
I think we got a young man that's under the weather here for a minute. Coleman kind of came up lame, and his coach is checking on him.
He was really working hard underneath, wasn't he? He got 3 or 4 rebounds right in a row there. Was battling for the basketball.
I want to apologize to the fans and the listeners here. I don't have all their offensive rebounds because they're coming like in 4s and 5s right now, and they are just controlling the boards. They did it last night against Notre Dame, too.
It's 20 plus second chance opportunities.
Crazy. Damon Emmerich would have those if he was here, but he'd have his shoes off by this stage of the game.
He'd have his phone in his left hand, sending a text message. Here's a runner put up and good by Jones. The thing about Damon is he used to keep stats back in the day on the flip phone when he had to type 3 or 4 times to get an R. Here's a drive in by Little. High glass won't fall. Rebound secured by Ron Henry. Just under 5 minutes to play in this ball game.
I remember flipper, but flip phone. Okay, I'm working on that.
Flip phone? You had a flip phone at one point, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty young.
Yeah, you had a bag phone too. And one of those rotary dial ones. Here's a shot put up and good by Ben Okoro. Really, in your lifetime, you think about how phones have really changed over the years, Jack. It's quite impressive.
Tell you what, you don't even have to spin the little wheel anymore. It's really great.
Did they still have an operator in Paloma when you were alive?
They did.
Goodness. Here's a shot put up by Evans. His leg's just a little gone here, so he's had to really play hard, and it's ball to bounce to Principia, length of the court to go.
You never experienced the party line. I remember broadcasting at Triopia one night when somebody was on the line we were using, and they were talking to us during the broadcast. And they were doing a better job than we were, probably.
And you also attended a one-room schoolhouse for a bit.
Correct.
Here's a ball tipped, stolen away. Evans going to attack the rack against Okoro. Shot blocked, and the rebound for Ben Okoro. Now he's on the floor trying to keep it alive. Evans dives in, forces the jump ball. It should be Principia basketball on the alternating possession arrow.
Now, Zach Evans kind of reminds you of that Madison coach from a few years ago in the sectional that said, don't you help the other team up. They can help themselves up. He's playing intense here, even though his team's down by 22 at this point, because that's what kind of players they are.
Yeah, some people will be like, well, that's bad sportsmanship. No, it's not. They have teammates. They'll help them. Shot put up is blocked here. Rebound down. Evans coast to coast. Runner up right hand. Good as Evans gets it to go.
Creating and making his 13th point of the day.
And makes it 67-47. 3:45 left. Pass over the top goes to Jaden Jones. On the right side now, Ron Henry. Henry looks in the post. Nothing going here. Back out to Jones. Slowing it down a bit here is Principia from their normal pace. That is pretty quick. There's a ball in the paint now. It is tied up or a timeout. Timeout taken first by Principia. They'll have 7 to shoot. When we come back after this, Adams Network timeout.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agents at B&P Insurance Agency, Barber Agency. See Pat Vandevelde, Caleb Vandevelde, or Mary Coltis. You'll find our location at 114 South Madison Street in Pittsfield.
Every day, banks touch every corner of our lives. They support us when we turn life's goals into accomplishments. Goals like opening a small business, buying a home, planting a crop, having a baby. From your first car to life after retirement, Central State Bank is there for all of your life's milestones. CSB is central to your banking needs. Visit us in Clayton, Kinderhook, Pittsfield, Pleasant Hill, and Quincy, or at csb123.com. Central State Bank wishes all of the teams well on the hardwood this week.
67-47, Principia with the 20-point lead. They took the timeout as the ball was, well, might have still been loose, but must have had just enough possession of it to get the timeout call.
We've seen enough bodies flying on the floor. Sometimes it's best to kill it so nobody gets hurt.
And bounce pass for the Panthers, 7 to shoot. They'll just take a second to put up a 3 by Jones, no good. And Chance Little, the rebound, and he's fouled.
Little picks up his 5th board of the day. Looked like Ron Henry was the guy that was the guilty party that time. The end of the game, Coleman comes in. He'll set Henry down. Henry plays about half of the game, but he is extremely talented, and he's always a little discouraged when he comes out of the game. And that's what you want, is that guy that's hungry when he comes out of the game, because he doesn't want to come out.
He wants to play.
Yeah, if you get some guy that's happy about being taken out, that's a problem.
I can remember watching a junior high game as a ball knocked loose here a couple years ago, and kid from the end of the bench came up, and he kind of took his time getting in. And the referee said, son, let me tell you something. When it's time to go in, you look like you're excited to play. Act like you want to be out there.
Yeah, but be careful. Don't pull your warm-up pants off and realize you forgot to put your trunks on.
Yep, always take your time on that. Here's a ball knocked away, stays with Principia on the slot. Hey, I want to give a shout-out to our old friend Mitch Sutton watching the game. We've known Mitch for a long, long time. Big Illini fan. I'm sure he was happy about the court ruling that occurred yesterday as Illinois gets their All-American back in Terrence Shannon Jr.
Somebody said, hey, do you think the coach will play him? I said, are you asleep?
Yeah, I'd say he'll be in action on Sunday. Here's a runner-up and no good. Rebound on the play, pulled down by Brown. And just to finish that thought, by the way, Brad Underwood's job is to coach basketball, all right? All that other stuff, that's not in his control, okay? So he's going to coach basketball with the best players that he has, and that's one of them. Here's a ball knocked out of bounds. And it's a turnover on the Cougars.
Don't want to editorialize at all, but, innocent until proven guilty type thing.
Well, I mean, that's what it is, really. They decided that his due process rights had not been correctly followed, and, kind of the way it works in this country. Not saying that something couldn't happen again. You could see him go away again for Illinois. It's a tricky situation. Obviously, nobody likes it. Everybody wishes it wasn't a real situation, but here they are. They're working through it.
Foul called on West Central.
Evans called for that one.
Looks like he'll pick up his first. Well, and the thing is, he's a young man that was in a situation just like a lot of these kids just 2 or 3 years ago. He was a high school kid playing in shootouts for really good teams, and they're just kids, and we've got to do our best to help them reach that next level in maturity also.
Coro has it at the free throw line. Turnaround shot up and good. Benacoro another 2.
I think Principia's coach got his message around the Q&D kind of caught him by surprise the second half. They've come to play today. He's got 10.
Solid team in. Really young. Here's Barry on a drive, no good. Rebound loose, and Brown gets on the floor to keep it alive for his squad. Here's Evans for a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound fought for. Barry in the paint trying to bang around, and he's fouled underneath.
What a job by Mason Barry down there fighting among the Giants. It looks like Dake's going to pick up the foul.
We see Derek Schauman in for the first time, the 6'2 junior for Principia, one of 2 juniors in action here.
Everybody that's on the bench has played so far today now. This Principia squad could have played some of the higher level teams very possibly.
Here's Little underneath, shot no good. Rebound, Brown won't fall. Rebound fought for. Little comes down with it, puts it back up and in. He's a hard worker. Second chance, Little.
Give him 18.
Bucket. And Principia just wanted the timeout to get the sub in here, so they'll get that done. He's wanted to get some new guys into the contest, as we'll see back into the game. Siku Sise. He'll sit down Okoro.
These guys played it to Norm Stewart, their assistant coach told me too. Be a big place to play and a lot of fun.
Well, you look at just where some of these teams play, and man, these kids get to see a lot of different facilities and parts of the country that,
well, you got a team.
A lot of kids don't get to see it all the time.
Utah,
right?
Texas, West Virginia here. The shootout makes a lot of fun in this area.
North Carolina, shot put up no good. Rebound underneath. Pass inside. Cisse. Shot won't go, but Siku Cisse heads to the free throw line to shoot 2.
103 left in the contest. 2 free throws to be shot the way of Cisse. He's got 2 points on the day. 69-49, 103 left in this contest. And West Central will empty their bench, so they'll have a line change after the first free throw, which was no good.
For the Cougars getting into the contest here, we'll see Gabe Howard along with Carson Clevenger. Nick Hamilton checks into the game. We also see Zach Howard into the contest, and Sievers returns as he played a bit earlier in the contest as well. Played well for the Cougars.
Well, and that lets you go back to practice and talk about some things with this film that what you need to do. Cisse drains the second one for his 3rd point of the day, and they're at 70 now.
The Cougars have not taken a loss like this for a long time. I'm not trying to say, it's a refocus or that they were, not thinking this would be a good team. It's just a good basketball team. This type of matchup helps elevate you if you take the things that you learned and put them into practice.
Well, you were at a high. You won all 3 tournaments, and now you come in and you get just a little bit of humbling. And, you know, when late January and early February, sometimes it's hard to focus because it's a long dog days during that time. Look out.
Clock over the baskets are stuck. Here goes Cisse. He's going to try to slam it back into action and will for 2.
First dunk we've seen of the day, 5 for him now.
Siku Cisse, the 6'7" freshman.
Who will be 7 foot next year. Just write it down.
Big kid. Big wingspan. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of wingspan.
I'd try him throwing a baseball, too. Look out, we got another shot here.
Quentin Coleman with a little right-hand runner, no good. Cisse rebound, put back up and in for 2. 74-49 with 8 seconds to play. And West Central will just dribble this one out, it appears. Hamilton gets it over to Clevenger, and that's the way this one will finish. With a 74-49 win for Principia over West Central. We take you to the Blessing Health System post-game show with final stats and our player of the game next.
The heart is the hardest working muscle in your body. If something goes wrong with it, you need a medical team that works just as hard. You need Blessing Health's Open Heart Surgery Team, celebrating 20 years of delivering life-saving care to tri-state residents. Patients and families choose Blessing Health's Open Heart Surgery Team for its experience, quality, and heartwarming compassion. Get the most out of your hard-working heart.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Derek Harris is your Pike and Adams County area Edward Jones financial advisor. Derek Harris's most important goals are yours. That's why Derek will take the time to understand your needs so he can recommend personalized strategies with your goals in mind. Contact Derek Harris today at 217-222-7173. Knowing you, that's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Back on the Blessing Health System post-game show, Principia. The Panthers move to 13-3 on the season. West Central falls to defeat for just the 3rd time this year. They move to 21-3 on the season on a 74-49 win for the Panthers in this contest in the opening game of this Saturday of the 2024 Quincy Shootout. And West Central in the contest early, Jack, but then Principia's overall just depth of talent took over. Not that West Central played badly in this game. It's just a little step up to the level they're used to playing. And as we talked about, if they use this to their advantage, this will help elevate their team as they come down the home stretch.
It was a 17-14 ball game after one quarter, 41-30 at half, 61-43 after 3. So a 20-13 quarter there, and then 74-49 the final. The squad from Principia, 33 of 71 shots, 46%. A lot of those second and third chances, 8 of 20 from the arc, 40%. And they were 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 71%. West Central turned the ball over 14 times, and 6 of those came in the second half. They were 19 of 53, 35%, 5 of 15, 33% from the arc, 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Chance Little led the way with 18 points, had 10 in the second half. Zach Evans added 13. 7 for Mason Berry, 6 for Cameron Sievers, 3 for Riker Ford in the contest. On the other side, good game by Quentin Coleman. He had 16 on the day. Also double figures by Jaden Jones, who was a valuable part of this team. 14 points for him. 10 points for Gassim Toure. He had 10, and also 10 points for Ben Okora. So 4 guys in double figures. Another man in Jalen Edwards with 9, just 1 off of that. And then you add 2 points from Ron Henry, 6 from Wyatt Slay on 2 3-pointers off the bench, and 7 from Cisse at the end of the ball game for their total of 74.
Time to name our player of the game, presented by Edward Jones financial advisor Derek Harris. Financial investments are important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, parents, and mentors. Derek Harris is your Edward Jones financial advisor, and that's why he's a proud sponsor of the player of the game on Central Illinois Sports. And Quentin Coleman coming off the bench today, putting in 13 points to lead his squad. He is today's player of the game. We'll have more action for you coming up from the Quincy Shootout. Action throughout the day. 8 more games. The next one scheduled for a 10:30 start at Chicago Curry and Father Tolton. We'll hope you join us then for another Central